I want to show you this video from the Naples, Florida Fire Rescue Department. These are members of that department performing a water rescue just a few hours ago in Naples, which is all the more impressive because their own fire station, where they are bringing this person they rescued, is itself flooded with several feet of water. Their fire trucks are inundated and unusable. Officials in Collier County, where Naples is, say they've received a significant number of calls from people trapped in flooded homes, but they are prioritizing people reporting life-threatening medical emergencies because every attempted rescue is so dangerous at this moment. I want to bring in now Rick Locastro, the commissioner of Collier County. He's joining us by phone from Marco Island, which is south of Naples, and which we know is been in a very dangerous place with regards to this storm. Mr. Locastro, we know there is a mandatory curfew going into effect starting at 10 p.m. tonight. How is the city enforcing that curfew?
Well, you know, we have really great first responders. I mean, I heard one of your other reporters talk about how we've been assisting Lee County. The reason why we've been able to do that is because although there are a few people that needed rescue, I think we did a great job getting people out of here. And I think that freed up a lot of our first responders and our police officers. You know, as far as enforcing the curfew, from what I hear, I'm actually trapped on Marco Island, but I sort of, my district is about half of Naples, Marco Island, Isles of Capri, Port of the Islands, a lot of those low-lying, picturesque, beautiful areas that are a piece of paradise, except when, you know, in time of hurricane, and then that's the trade-off for living here. But from everything that has been reported to me, people know to stay in. I mean, in fact, so many of the streets are flooded, and as you've heard from your reporters, it's not like people are out and about. And you know, those that think it's sort of fun to be out in the water, those are the folks that we're really sort of getting at. And then, of course, you know, you heard about some of the heroic water rescues. You're always going to have that when you have, you know, emergencies like this. But that's been the exception, not the rule. And we got a lot of people out of town. I'm a retired Air Force colonel and have been a base commander and have had a lot of these type of storms before it hit my base and whatnot. So that's why I stayed back here. I mean, I wasn't going to get in my car and drive to a hotel in Orlando and then come back and pick up the pieces. So I was working closely with our first responders. And, you know, the big thing I will just tell you, Alex, is, you know, I hear about the palm fronds and people that are losing roofs, and there's a lot of horrific things happening in Fort Myers and Orlando. But when the storm hit just north of us, people that were following the weather reports, the real concern was whoever was slightly south of where the storm actually hit were the folks that were going to get the bulk of the storm surge. And I can tell you, we got every inch of it here. I mean, I live on Marco Island, and my house basically was about an inch away from being totaled with flooding. So we had water, and it immediately came over the seawall and surrounded the house, just like a lot of my constituents. But, you know, water is, you know, losing a tree and losing a roof. You lose a pool cage, you know, then you go back in the house and you cook dinner, and then you get those things replaced. But water, you know, much like fire, much like tornadoes, you know, that's horrific damage. And like the reporter was saying, there's a lot of people that have no idea what kind of damage they're about to come back to. I've seen some of it, and a lot of it is here on Marco Island and in big chunks of the district that I'm the commissioner for. And it's really, you know, this has really been a one-time, never happened before type of event here. And I also, you know, I also survived through Irma, and it was such a big difference. You know, Irma was all about wind. This was all about water. And, you know, a lot of people get a great education, and, you know, and maybe it's the hard way about storm surge. You know, there was a lot of high numbers reported for Irma, 12-foot storm surge, and it turned out to be 3 or 4 feet. And there were a lot of folks that said, oh, those weather reporters, they always over-exaggerate to scare us, where the reality was Irma took a couple of last-minute wiggles and changes, and it protected us from storm surge. It wasn't as catastrophic. This storm took wiggles and changes, and it made it worse for us. Came out at a totally different angle. So I think every foot that was predicted of storm surge, I can tell you, I saw every inch of it. And we've got a real catastrophic issue here in Marco, Naples, and sort of as you move up the west coast of Florida north. I mean, obviously the storm has subsided a little bit. It's still causing structural damage and whatnot, but you have some severe severe water damage in Southwest Florida right now, and in a big part of my district. And so, now it's time to do assessment and cleanup mode.
Commissioner Locastro, I am sure your constituents very much appreciate your decision to use your Air Force experience to help your community and oversee, in effect, what will be a staggering amount of damage over the next couple of days and weeks. There's a long recovery ahead. Rick Locastro, Collier County Commissioner, thanks for making time for us during such a difficult time.